Today on Around Town, witness the swearing-in ceremony for the newest board members of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Then celebrate the centennial of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland with reporter Enrique Correa. We'll be right back.
I am a face of influenza.
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 We all are faces of influenza.
I'm a mom. And I'm a face of influenza. Health officials now recommend everyone 6 months of age and older get immunized against influenza this
And every year.
Vaccination is safe and is the best way to help protect yourself and your family from contracting and spreading the flu.
We all are faces of influenza.
See your healthcare provider about getting immunized. The American Lung Association urges everyone 6 months of age and older, and we mean everyone, to get vaccinated. Visit
Facesofinfluenza.org.
Influenza is serious. So are we. Get vaccinated.
Welcome back to Around Town.
So we're swearing in board members who already exist. They're already current board members. So I had a choice of 4, and we've chosen to, Monica and I do the interview, so we've chosen to bring back all 4. But I will say this, that this is our 5th year, Eric, or 6th year? 5th implementation of the Cleveland plan. And as we've been having discussions, we have not moved at the pace that I would like to have it moved. And so we're looking at that. We're having a discussion about that on every Monday now, about what we believe to be those things that are keeping us from moving at a better pace in terms of school reform. We will be going out for another renewal of the levy in 2020. And I will here to say that I would suspect that without substantial improvement in our performance in regards to that, it's going to be very difficult to have a passage. And the public has supported us overwhelmingly twice. Now we factor in the changes in how the state has measured things and the changing measurement tools and what is on the horizon in terms of what they're going to be using as measuring tools going forward. And we have significant challenges. So as board members, your job is to be on top of this and to understand the dynamics of what we're facing, because if we are not able to demonstrate significant improvement, the next time around we will have a more difficult time, I believe, on the levy, and also when we look at performance, it will be at that point, 2020, you said, that will be 8 years, which means someone would have started kindergarten and they would be in the 7th grade by then. Okay? So I want you to keep that in mind as we move forward. But that being said, the choices that we had, you were the best choices for the position. You have the experience, you have the knowledge, and you've demonstrated your commitment. So I really appreciate your commitment to education. So could board members stand up as I administer the oath? Okay. Now, repeat after me, okay? I state your name. do solemnly swear
that
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I'll support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and perform faithfully the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Board of Education member
Board of Education member
of the Cleveland Municipal School District.
of the Cleveland Municipal School District.
Congratulations. Now, we have a little time before what I want to do is going to my office. We'll take some pictures, but we'll allow, usually I only do this for new board members, but since I'm kind of setting out new challenges, I'd like to hear from each of you, President, Vice President, and then Ms. Milam, who's been the longest, and then you. Okay? All right. Here you go.
Well, I hadn't prepared anything to say other than it is an honor to serve the city of Cleveland and the children, and we understand and we hear the challenge, and we are committed to making a difference and making sure that several years from now there will be significant improvement. It's also a great pleasure to work with Eric Gordon and his team. I can't imagine a better group to work with. And so we're looking forward to all working together to meet the challenge and serve our children well. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate the opportunity to continue.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure and an honor over the 14 years. It was 13 years. 13 years about a month ago, I came to the board. And it's been a challenge, and it's been good work, and we've got a lot of work to do. I understand that. I thank Eric and my colleagues for all that they do, and I just hope I can live up to your expectations. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. And it's a pleasure to be working with my colleagues again. I'm very committed. Thank you, Mayor. And I'm committed. I've heard the challenge, and I'm certainly committed not only to our students, but one of the things that I said that I've been talking about our district national-wide. We're going to bring this conference to Cleveland because they're talking about us all over the country. And so I'm committed. I hear the challenge. And one of the things, I'm also glad to see my family here with me today. And I thank you all for tolerating my crazy schedule. And so thank you. And I also appreciate working with my colleagues as well as Eric. We're a team. And at this point, we say we're a family.
It seems like yesterday, but it was really 6 years ago last month, Mayor, when you had me take the oath, and I've been on the board, obviously 6 years, and I recall walking over and thinking, oh, what if they asked me to say something? And I went to my public administration mantra, efficiency and effectiveness, but mostly I thought about that I would only have put my hat into the ring for you and for Eric Gordon, that there was no one else I would have done this for. And so in 6 years, I have learned so much. It has been such an incredible process. It's learning a new job. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Eric. Also, Monica, thanks for all the work that you do behind the scenes. You're truly, really the hamster in the wheel behind, and we know that. Denise, you need a whole lot of accolades because that first year, I remember the first meeting thinking, what the heck is all this? And you would pull me aside. You should have seen it before. You should have seen it before. It's so much better now. And I was frustrated thinking, if this is better, what could it have possibly have been before? But you've done such a great job, Denise, and you've filled in seamlessly. Robert, you've stepped in seamlessly. And we really are a family by virtue of the fact that Shalith is here, Somebody else was here. And Denise, that board members come and we support each other. Everybody says, oh, it's such a pleasure. Man, this is hard work. There's a lot of reading, a lot of digesting. It's a $1 billion corporation to educate 44,000 some students with everything that's involved. So we are running a major corporation, and it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of trust among each other, among Eric and his staff, and mostly with the citizens and the parents of the city of Cleveland. So, Mayor, I understand your burden. You're now sharing your burden with us. We take it very seriously. I know I can say that honestly. And I'm just thrilled to be part of it for another 4 years. And Eric, so happy to be working with you.
I think this is the first time I've been invited to the podium. So what I would say is, first of all, good evening, everybody. One of the things that I've appreciated, I'm in my 7th year as a superintendent and my 11th year in the district, and one of the things I've appreciated most about the mayor's leadership in particular is that I have absolutely no say or influence in the appointments. I'm not consulted with, I don't know who the names are, and I really value that because in the end of the day, I need to be accountable to each of you, and if I have influence, that immediately reduces accountability. Having said that, I am very pleased that each of you have been reappointed. I've said it to you as many times in as many ways as I can that part of why we are finding success despite the challenges that remain is because we are not behaving like boards and administrations in other school districts. We see them when we travel, where they are all talking about each other. The superintendent doesn't like their board, the board doesn't like the superintendent. We are talking about learning and teaching for children. And I just think of our most recent retreat and the really rigorous conversations about the investment schools and where are they and where aren't they and what are we doing, K redesign and practicing that. And I can honestly say that that is unique in our peer group when I talk to people across the country. And so welcome back. I'm thrilled that we're going to continue to do this work as aggressively as we have. We will make this lift. I am absolutely confident that we're going to meet and exceed that expectation. Thanks, everybody.
Great. We'll be right back with more Around Town.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Yoo! Woo! I came just as soon as I heard the news.
While you're enjoying that midnight snack, tune in to watch the best B movies on Cleveland Classic Cinema.
What began as a silly party given by an eccentric has now involved us all in murder.
I ain't right, I'm just scared.
With host Nick D'Amico.
It's always good to know that.
Only on TV 20. We are Cleveland. Welcome back to Around Town.
100 years of helping people in the Cleveland community, and the mission continues under Marsha Maccabee, the current and first woman CEO in the league's history.
Now that we know what has happened over 100 years, and to understand that there's still so much more to do, and really to just be thankful for the shoulders that I stand on, who really built up the last 100 years, and for the small role that I was able to play in taking the organization over these last 8 years, and for however long my tenure goes on into the next centuries.
Maccabee has held the CEO position since 2011, having served the organization for more than 20 years. Under her leadership, the ULGC has been able to move to secure its future and continue to help the public through various programs and systems. Maccabee states the Urban League is more vital now than ever.
Wherever there are barriers for access to those systems. I see it as my job to go into those systems and try to identify where the barriers are and to try to negotiate those barriers and mitigate them. And I'm so humbled because the people in our community trust the Urban League. They're comfortable coming to the Urban League. And because of that, they're willing to do the things we ask them to do to get themselves prepared to access these systems.
During its 100 years in Cleveland, the Urban League has helped people get their businesses off the ground. During the league's reception at the City Club, some entrepreneurs gave testimonials on how the organization has helped them excel. Patricia Ramsey started working for the league right out of college and was instrumental in starting the Urban League's housing department and having it recognized by HUD.
There's not too many organizations like the Urban League that exist to live for 100 years to be able to help people in the community. So they were here to help people back then and the needs that were needed back then. And guess what? Those needs are certain needs that may change, but people still need the Urban League to move to another level in their lives. So it's really good. And as you know, I used to work for the Urban League. That was my first job. And so back then it was housing. And so guess what? Housing was a need that people needed at that point in time. And we were able to help people save themselves from their homes and, make sure that they were able to stay in their homes. As a matter of fact, after I left the Urban League, I ran into somebody that basically said, you helped me save my home, and they're forever grateful. And then they happen to be an entrepreneur. So I'm listening to all the people today as you step forward into the future to today, 100 years later. We're helping people still to start businesses, maintain businesses, grow their businesses, and hire people. And then we're helping youth to educate people. So great legacy for the Urban League, and looking forward to the next 100 years.
Margaret Clark received help from the Urban League of Greater Cleveland to start her own beauty company called Lachey Cosmetics.
It is an honor to be here today to personally share my experience of what the Urban League has done for my business. I am very proud to say that the Urban League has been good to me and very instrumental in the success and growth of my business. Today we are here to celebrate 100 years. It's a beautiful thing, right? I don't know of any other African-American-based business that's been in business for 100 years. So let's give it up for Marcia and the Urban League team. I would like to thank the CEO and President, Marcia Maccabee, the executive officers, board members, and staff for keeping this organization thriving and continually changing the lives of African-American and minority-owned businesses.
John and Monica Davis are beneficiaries of the Urban League's business development services. With the League's help, they started a cleaning service called Service Master Clean back in 2009, and that year the couple won the Urban League's Entrepreneur of the Year award.
And so they taught us how to put the outline together and finance in terms of P&L statements, balance sheets, the financial statements. We had not been exposed to that in our disciplines. So we just want to thank the Urban League 100 times. You guys have been our bridge. You support us, and we still clean the Urban League. Sometimes if our employee calls up, we go clean the Urban League, and we would love to clean all of your places. So thank you today. Congratulations on 100 years of success. And Marcia, you have blown me away today. You are a civil rights leader of the finest.
R&B legend Jeffrey Osborne packed the house at the Hard Rock Rocksino in Northfield Park to celebrate the centennial anniversary of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.
First of all, it's an honor for me to be singing for their 100th anniversary. I didn't realize that they have been around that long. I know they've been around a while, but I didn't realize it was 100 years. And I've done a lot of things for the Urban Leagues all over the country, in different cities. So it's beautiful for me to be able to come back and do their 100th. I mean, they've done so much for us over the years. I mean, 100 years, all the services that they provide in the communities. I mean, all the way from, child care services to, getting jobs for people, grants. I mean, I don't think we'd be where we're at right now without an organization like the Urban League.
In downtown Cleveland, I'm Enrique Correa, TV 20. We are Cleveland.
Thanks for watching Around Town, only on TV 20. We are Cleveland.